should KD and Kyrie stay in Brooklyn? Mostly Kevin Durant, right? Because he's the one that has this decision.
Correct.
Kyrie Irving will stay if KD stays. He will leave if KD leaves. So ultimately, this decision falls on the shoulder on Kevin Durant. Do you think that he should just thug it out and play the entire year?
I do think so. I think, like, looking at the team, a first-round pick for Royce O'Neal is tough, but he's somebody that can add to the team. T.J. Warren, low-risk, high-reward type of move.
I'm with you there.
They brought back Claxton. They still don't have a
Mills
big, but I think Mills coming back. Ben Simmons did not play all year. So I think at least for a year, I don't see why KD is looking at this roster and thinking, if I stay, Kyrie stays. It's just not a bad roster. I think this right now, their roster is pretty cool. I think it's a good enough roster where they can make some noise. I do think he should stay, but I understand if he doesn't want to. But I think as of right now, looking at the roster and what they have, they could still make a couple more moves. Joe Harris missed damn near the whole season,
year.
So he will also be back. So if you're thinking about it, Ben Simmons is back. Joe Harris is back. You just added T.J. Warren. You just added Royce O'Neal, wing-type players. I think Kevin Durant and Kyrie, this is a position where I think they are good enough where they can still maybe not go to the championship and make some noise in the East. So I think at least to the fans, they should definitely stay for at least one more year. Kyrie, like we said, if KD stays, Kyrie's probably going to stay. So for KD, I do think he should stay at least one more year.
Do you think they care about the fans?
I think he should.
Brooklyn
fans, they did nothing to them.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Brooklyn fans specifically. I'm saying in general, do you think they care about what people think about them?
People?
No.
I don't. I think KD cares about what people think. That's why he's always arguing back and forth and going back and forth with people. Because if you don't care, inevitably you wouldn't say anything.
All right. So do you think Kyrie cares about the fans?
No, I don't. I think Kyrie, but Kyrie does care about what KD thinks. I think that's.
I do think Kyrie kind of cares what people think, though.
Think so?
I absolutely think that he couldn't care less about what they think. I think it gets him upset, but I mean maybe that's showing that you care a little bit, but it gets him upset because he's misconstrued. Like he feels like he's misconstrued. He's misinterpreted.
But he's also
that means he cares that he's.
I guess, yeah.
But he's also a bit delusional. Same with Kevin Durant. They don't take ownership in what they do wrong.
And I don't feel like it's Kyrie getting mad at fans. I think it's Kyrie getting mad at media and them spinning narratives. That's what Kyrie's upset about.
I understand that, but I kind of feel like a lot of that anger is
rooted somewhere else.
Is rooted not in the media, or it's really built on something that's not even there.
No, it's a tough thing
because
to analyze.
Kyrie Irving, a lot of the stuff that he gets mad at the media for is things that the media ends up being correct about. They got mad when he left Cleveland because people viewed Cleveland and LeBron as a perfect situation. He goes on First Take. Max Kellerman calls him out on it. He basically calls Max Kellerman a puppet.
That was pretty immature of Kyrie
because of that. And now we see it didn't work out in Boston, and full circle moment now, years later, he wants to team up back with LeBron. So all in all, Max Kellerman was right about that, but Kyrie is just disregarding what he's saying and saying, oh no, he's just a puppet. Mm-hmm. He's just this. He's just pulling strings. Like Stephen A. He's just been critical of Kyrie's availability ultimately to his job that is playing basketball. And he calls him a puppet for that. So I kind of feel like Kyrie Irving gets mad at the media for saying things, but the media is right about what they said. Like KD was calling out the media his last year in Golden State all year for them writing stories about him leaving Golden State.
And they were
for
right.
him only to leave Golden State after the year, and for them to be right that he did what he indeed was leaving and had one foot out the door. I'll just go since I'm talking already.
Fair enough.
This is an easy yes for me because it's their best chance to win a championship. I didn't even write down their roster before this segment, taking notes on this, but while you were talking and you mentioned Royce O'Neal, I said, why not just write down a roster? Kyrie Irving, Royce O'Neal, KD, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton, off the bench, T.J. Warren, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Patty Mills. This isn't a bad team.
There's just one constant.
Yeah.
They have no big.
This isn't a bad team. They're one big man away. Could you trade Joe Harris for that player? Yes, but they have wing defenders in Simmons, KD, O'Neal. Claxton is a pretty agile defender. Kyrie has shown he can play defense when he wants to. Last basketball episode, we ranked the top duos in the East. I wouldn't put KD and Kyrie over Giannis and Middleton because they won a championship. Embiid and Harden.
Really?
I'm not putting them over the team that just beat them too. By the way,
So you're not putting them over Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
No.
I respect that.
Look,
I can't.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that point. But at worst,
They're like 4.
they're the fourth best
Yeah.
duo in the East. At their best, if KD's playing at the level we know he plays at, and Kyrie's playing at the level that he plays at,
They're probably
it's
3.
not far fetched to say they're the best,
At their best,
duo in
they're
the
one.
East.
No. At their best, they're number 1 for sure. I'm saying right now. I'm sorry, I spoke way too soon. I think right now you probably could put them probably number 3.
So if we're talking about at their best, they're the best duo in the East, and they have these supporting parts.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you wouldn't run it back. The only deterrent is Steve Nash as the coach. That's really it. For me, that's the only reason why I understand why Kevin Durant wants to leave, because he's saying, I don't think Steve Nash is a good coach, and he probably does not trust the management, because you go to Phoenix, Monty Williams is your coach. You know he's going to put you in spots to succeed. Miami, Eric Spoelstra, he's going to put you in spots to be successful. But those are unrealistic destinations because Miami can't put together a trade package. We just saw Brooklyn ask Minnesota for Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Because of that,
I saw you tweet about that. I was curious what what your thoughts were actually. Were you mad at the Nets for sending that offer?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm mad at the Nets for asking of that dumb
That's what I'm
shit.
saying.
That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's Ant Edwards, Cat.
I know.
Like 4
it
picks.
was a lot.
You're asking them to basically give up
Ruin your roster.
everything.
Ruin your
if
roster.
I was the Nets, I would just ask for Anthony Edwards.
Even like what's up?
But the salary wouldn't match, so that wouldn't be
or
able to
like if you
happen.
just ask for Cat in like 4 first rounders, all right, I understand. But you asking for damn near their cornerstones and 4 picks.
I don't disagree.
That's
It's a
crazy.
lot.
They're asking for way too
It's
much.
Kevin Durant though.
But come
Like,
on,
you can't ask
You're
for too
gutting
much.
another team just to get.
Yeah.
But that's
one person.
exactly why I don't believe KD will get traded, because
100%.
the Brooklyn Nets are going to hold off until they find the right offer for KD. And to me, the best trade package currently lies within New Orleans with the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram, a young player,
Some
multiple
picks.
picks.
Yep.
But the big question mark with them is, do they want to tear apart this beautiful young core that they have to get a guy in Kevin Durant who has shown you he cannot lead you to a championship? He can ride the coattails of a dynasty and make them and elevate them even further. He can do that. But ever since 2012 in OKC, where he went to the finals and lost 4-1, he played great that series, yes. But ever since 2012, outside of Golden State, he has not made the finals. He has not made the finals once. Because of that, do the Pelicans really want to risk it all on KD, bring him in, knowing Zion is always an injury risk? So worst case scenario, the Pelicans get hurt, Zion gets injured, KD is always a scratch to miss 20 to 30 games a season.
Do you think they plug out BI and put Zion in the package?
No, Zion can't be traded right now because he just signed that extension.
Tough.
So the core looks nice. It's CJ, it's Zion, it's KD, Valanciunas. That's a nice little team, but there's risk there because if Zion gets hurt, the entire thing falls apart, and they're not legit contenders. So that's really why I don't feel like he'll get traded. The other team is the Raptors. You know, would the Raptors trade Scotty Barnes and a lot of future assets for KD?
Sheesh.
Do they trade Siakam and a bunch of picks for KD? It feels like the Nets want 2 All-Stars. And I don't think any team is going to give up 2 All-Stars for a superstar who is 34 years old, and you have at most 2 to 3 elite level seasons from him left. And also, he gets injured. He's going to miss 20 to 30 games a season, which means that if you are trading an all-star level player, potentially 2, and you're getting KD back in return, if he gets hurt, there's a chance you might miss the playoffs as well. So that there's a lot of risk involved with Kevin Durant, and that's why I feel like the best case scenario for both sides is for him to play out the season, him and Kyrie.
Just so we don't have two similar opinions, because I'm with you guys. I think that if he wants the best chance to win, he should stay in Brooklyn, because any team he's going to go to, it's a trade that's ultimately going to gut the other team's roster. You already mentioned the Minnesota Timberwolves. They wanted Anthony Edwards. They wanted Karl Anthony Towns in that package on top of 5 picks. This is not a team that Kevin Durant wants to go to. He wants to go to a situation where he's going to win. there is right now no situation. There is no team that is deep enough that the Nets would be willing to do business with that can get a trade done with Kevin Durant. That
There is
if
one.
Kevin Durant goes there, the team is still competitive enough for what the Nets want. Is there one team that you can name? The only team that comes. All right, let's hear it.
The Warriors.
Okay.
That would be the only one I can say can still probably keep 3 of their guys, bring in Kevin Durant, and not have to give up 2
Do you
All-Stars.
believe that they're interested?
No, I don't know. I didn't say that.
I'm asking that.
No, I don't.
Because that's the reason why I didn't decide to bring them up.
I was listening to this podcast. Ultimately, it comes down to Steph Curry. If Steph Curry gives them the okay to do it, they'll do it. But I don't think they're interested. I think they're fine with what they have. The young mixing with the old. But I think like if you're just talking package,
They
the
have
Warriors are the only ones that
it'll
probably can.
It'll be Kuminga. It'll be Wiseman.
And probably Wiggins. And you keep the
3, 4 first round picks.
So
I don't think that team wins a championship.
I don't think it does either. But I'm saying it like the best trade package where you keep still your star
It
players.
doesn't. We have to take this into account.
I mean, Wiseman didn't play. Kuminga barely played when it mattered in the playoffs.
Poole is probably gone.
Andrew Wiggins was
okay.
I want to finish. Andrew Wiggins was phenomenal.
Second best player.
Kevin Durant is still Kevin Durant. He's a top 5 player in the NBA.
Oh, okay. Now here's
Top
the counter.
6.
Here's the
Top
counterpoint to
6.
that.
I agree.
They didn't play. Who played? Gary Payne. He's gone. Who played?
Okay, come on. Why is this the first name that you mentioned?
Because he's trying to say
I
there's no
understand.
bench.
Yeah. Who else left Golden State? Because a
Otto
bunch
Porter.
of them.
Otto
Otto
Porter's
Porter
gone.
left. Gary Payne left. If they trade Kevin Durant, the Nets are not just going to want Andrew Wiggins in return.
It'll be
They're
Wiggins.
it's going to be
Poole.
Wiggins.
Kuminga,
It's going to be
Wiseman,
Kuminga. It's going to be Moody or Poole. It might be Wiggins, Poole, Kuminga, Moody.
Ooh.
So you are going to give
giving up
away
everybody.
all of your young players. Golden State. James Wiseman is the first one gone, in my opinion, if you're trading one of your young guys. He's the first one gone. So if I'm Brooklyn, for one, Andrew Wiggins is on an expiring contract. So his value in that trade isn't even high because the Nets would have to re-sign him. And next year's free agency class is extremely weak. And Andrew Wiggins, there's potential there for him to be the best free agent on the market next offseason, which means the Nets would have to give him a boatload of money or just let him walk.